Emily screamed until her voice broke. We found her unconscious on the floor, blood coming from her nose. She said it pointed at her, then crawled across the room. The walls were bleeding. When the police came, there were no signs of forced entry. No intruders, no blood, just one name scratched into the wall. Lamia. The Morgan family had always dreamed of escaping city life. The stress, the sirens, the neighbors too close to breathe without being heard. So when they stumbled upon the listing for a massive 3-story Victorian house tucked deep in the woods of Hollow Pines, it felt like fate. It had everything: sprawling front and backyards, towering trees, wrought iron fences, and that kind of old-world charm you can't build anymore. The price was suspiciously low, less than half its estimated value. But Daniel, ever the realist, chalked it up to poor marketing. People are just scared of old houses. Nothing more, he had said, staring at the glowing photo of the house on his laptop screen. Rebecca was hesitant. It's been on the market for 10 years, Dan. Then we're lucky no one saw the potential, he had smiled. We'll make it ours. They moved in on a gray, cloudy Saturday. The moving van left tracks in the gravel driveway. The house loomed silently above them, its windows like empty, watching eyes. The air inside was heavy, not dusty exactly. The next of kin had supposedly restored it, but old. Like it had soaked in years of memories it refused to let go. The walls were a pale green, cracked in some corners, and the wood floors groaned under every footstep. The kids picked out their rooms on the second floor, and the parents took the master bedroom on the third. That first night, Emily heard a soft whisper behind her as she unpacked. She turned. No one. She figured it was the wind. Noah came running into his parents' room at 3:12 a.m., his eyes wide, hands shaking. There was someone outside my window. Daniel rubbed his eyes. It's just a deer, buddy. We're in the woods now. Noah shook his head. It was a woman. She was smiling. Daniel followed him back to the room. Nothing. Just trees. But he didn't sleep the rest of the night. Knocking. Always at 2:17 a.m. On the walls, then on the ceiling, then on the doors. Rebecca walked into the kitchen the next morning and found all the chairs stacked perfectly on top of the table, upside down. Emily told them she heard scratching from inside her closet, but there was nothing when they opened it, just clothes. Rebecca found a journal in the attic. It was half-burned, pages blackened on the edges. The name on the inside read, Eleanor Whitlock. The date, March 3rd, 1974. One of the final legible entries read, "It comes when we sleep. It doesn't want us here. It moves things, whispers to me. Showed itself to Abigail last night. She screamed so hard she broke a vessel in her eye. Blood everywhere. I can't leave. It won't let us. The door is gone." One word carved into the wall last night. Not with a knife, but something hotter than fire. Lamia. Rebecca didn't tell Daniel. Not yet. Emily came down for breakfast with bruises around her wrist. "What happened?" Rebecca asked. "I don't know," she said. "I think something grabbed me in my sleep." Daniel tried to brush it off. She probably rolled onto something, but his voice lacked confidence now. That night they heard running, barefoot, from the third floor to the first, slamming doors, growling. When Daniel checked, every door was open. Desperate, Rebecca called her grandmother's priest, Father Alden, an old man with cloudy eyes and a grave voice. When he arrived, he didn't even step inside. "I smell sulfur," he whispered, voice tight. He instructed them to light white candles, spread blessed salt, and recite prayers in every room. As they began, the house responded. The wind rose to a scream. The walls shook. One candle exploded in Emily's hand, burning her palm. Rebecca kept chanting, her voice cracking. A mirror shattered behind Daniel as something snarled just beside his ear. "Don't stop!" the priest yelled. On the third floor in the master bedroom, the temperature dropped instantly. Frost crawled over the windows. Noah began to scream. "There's someone under the bed," he wailed. "It's talking to me." Daniel dragged him out. The priest poured holy water beneath the bed, and the floor beneath it buckled like something was pushing back. When the ritual ended, silence. Total crushing silence. For a day, the house was quiet. Emily found a newspaper clipping in the basement behind a loose brick. It detailed a tragedy from 1974. Entire Whitlock family dies in mysterious fire. No remains found. House deemed uninhabitable. It didn't mention that the fire had started in the walls, that it burned from the inside out, or that several people claimed to see shapes moving in the smoke. That night, Emily woke up to the sound of someone calling her name. She turned on her lamp. The walls were bleeding. A thick black liquid oozed from the corners. Her door creaked open slowly, and there it stood, tall, twisted, its limbs wrong, its head bent backwards, mouth stretched into a grotesque smile, eyes black voids. It pointed at her and then ran, crawled, at inhuman speed across the room. She screamed until her voice broke. Daniel found her on the floor, unconscious, blood coming from her nose. The house was alive now, fully awake. Doors slammed shut if you walked too slowly. The lights flickered every time someone prayed. Furniture moved by itself. One night, while Rebecca was in the shower, the lights went out. Steam filled the room. Then came a knock. She thought it was Daniel. "I'll be out in a minute." The knock came again, harder. "Dan?" She pulled the curtain. Nothing. But on the mirror, written in the condensation, "Burn with us." They tried to leave. Bags packed, car running, but the front door wouldn't open. Every window shattered when they approached. The house laughed, a deep, guttural, vibrating sound that came from beneath the floor. Noah began screaming, pointing at the staircase. There it was again, the demon, crawling down the wall, its tongue long, eyes twitching, limbs cracking as it moved. Behind it, fire began to spread, but there were no flames, just heat and shadows dancing. They ran, upward, not knowing why. The house herded them like prey, up to the attic. In the attic was a trapdoor to the roof, but standing in front of it was the woman Noah saw that first night. Pale, burned, her face charred, hair floating like she was underwater. Her voice was a whisper layered over screams. "You were never supposed to be here!" Daniel threw a lamp at her. She evaporated, but the air screamed. They got onto the roof. The fire was inside the house now, but still no flames. Just things moving, shapes writhing, shadows with too many limbs, too many eyes. Helicopter blades in the distance. Someone saw the smoke. They jumped from the roof, broke bones, survived. The house still stands. No sign of fire, no damage. Police found no journal, no woman, no sulfur, just an overactive imagination and mass hysteria. The Morgans moved to a small apartment. Emily hasn't spoken since that night. Noah sometimes wakes up screaming, "It's in the wall!" And every so often, Daniel dreams of a door at the end of a dark hallway, a door that wasn't in the house before, and something behind it, whispering, "Come home." If you're still listening, you've survived another true horror event. If this story haunted you, please like the video and subscribe to this channel for more true nightmares, and leave a comment below. What would you do if the house spoke back? I'm Joker, and I'll see you in the next story.